Hi everyone! In today's video, we're going to be talking about the serious health issues that can be caused by exposure to asbestos. First of all, it's important to understand what asbestos is. Asbestos is a naturally occurring mineral that was widely used in the construction industry due to its durability and fire-resistant properties. However, it has since been linked to several serious health problems. One of the most common illnesses caused by asbestos exposure is asbestosis, a lung disease that results in scarring on the tissue in the lungs. This can lead to difficulty breathing and a decreased ability to absorb oxygen. Asbestosis typically develops after a person has been exposed to high levels of asbestos over a long period of time, often decades. Symptoms may not appear until years after the initial exposure. Another serious illness caused by asbestos exposure is mesothelioma, a rare form of cancer that affects the lining of the lungs, abdomen, and heart. It is often difficult to diagnose and has a poor prognosis. Mesothelioma can take anywhere from 20 to 50 years to develop after asbestos exposure. It is most commonly diagnosed in people over the age of 50. Asbestos was widely used in a variety of industries, including construction, shipbuilding, and automotive manufacturing. Workers in these industries may be at higher risk of exposure. It's not just those who work directly with asbestos who are at risk. People who live or work in buildings that contain asbestos may also be at risk of exposure if the asbestos is disturbed. According to the World Health Organization, around 107,000 people die each year from asbestos-related diseases. This makes it an important issue to be aware of and take steps to prevent exposure. The use of asbestos has been banned in over 60 countries, but it is still not banned in the United States. This means that it is still possible to be exposed to asbestos in the US through older buildings or products. A well-known example of the dangers of asbestos exposure is the town of Libby, Montana, where an asbestos mine operated for decades. Many residents of the town have developed asbestos-related illnesses, and the town has been declared a public health emergency by the U.S. government. One way to protect yourself is to be aware of the presence of asbestos in your environment. If you live or work in an older building, it's worth checking to see if it contains asbestos. If it does, make sure that it is properly sealed and not disturbed. If you think you may have been exposed to asbestos, it's important to speak to a healthcare professional as soon as possible. It's important for governments to take action to protect the health of their citizens by banning the use of asbestos and providing support to those affected by asbestos-related diseases. In conclusion, asbestos exposure can lead to serious health issues such as asbestosis and mesothelioma. It's important to be aware of the presence of asbestos in your environment and to take steps to prevent exposure. If you think you may have been exposed, it's important to speak to a healthcare professional as soon as possible.